Hi, Earth signs, Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. This is your weekly message. I shuffled the deck and just let whatever wanted to come out, come out. Also, if you have not worked with me yet, I am doing mini personal readings on Etsy, and I do have my deep dive readings on my .com in the description box. So, for you this week, I'm picking up on a lot of anxiety. You're starting off with the Eight of Wands coming out askew, and that was followed by the Five of Cups and the Devil in the reverse. It feels like this week you're finding out something that was not meant for you to see, is what this is looking like to me. This is something that you were working on, could be with work, could be with a person. And it feels like you were in the process of making a decision about what you wanted to do with this particular situation. You've been on the fence with this for a while, even if you haven't been communicating it to this person or to this entity, like if it's a job, because you were very aware of the things that haven't been working within this partnership or this connection. And so you were kind of in the process of like weighing your pros and cons, trying to decide if you were to stay in this situation, what you would have to do to make it work, being very practical as far as like, do you have the energy to continue giving to whatever this is, right? If this is a job or a work project or even a partnership, how much would you have to keep putting into the situation before you would see like measurable results, right? So it feels like that's what had been on your mind for a while now. This could have been a few months. I feel like you were very focused on what could be, as far as like, if I'm willing to sacrifice this time or this energy, what will my return be? And you saw a lot of potential in this situation. It's like everything was great, but this one thing, something about it, that it was a pretty big hurdle, right? But you felt like if you could possibly get to the other side of that, you could be very happy and reap a lot of rewards. I feel like the difficult part is that when you signed up to do whatever this is, you may have been aware of that hurdle at the time, and it's proving to be a bit much. It proved to be a bit much. And so that's when you had to take a step back and really evaluate whether or not you were making the right decision to immerse yourself in this situation, and if you should continue on. So this week, what I'm seeing is that you made the conscious decision to do whatever this is, right? To kind of keep going, to put in more work. And then very quickly, it's like as soon as you commit to this, either the person that you're involved with does something that maybe they wanted you to see, right? Maybe they're going to act surprised almost when you bring it up to them, like, what are you talking about? But deep down they wanted you to see this, right? Or if that's not the case, then you end up seeing something that was not exactly meant for your eyes, right? Either way, though, there is some intentional energy with this because spirit wanted you to see this, right? It's almost like if you get a voicemail that wasn't meant for you, but somehow reached you, a message of some sort, or you see a message that was not meant for you, right? There's something here where it's like, just when you get to the point of being like, you know what, I can tap back in, I think I can give this another go, something happens that makes you feel like this situation may actually be worse than what you thought it was. Or at the very least, like this is something that you won't be able to keep putting any effort into, because it's almost like showing you that everything that you've done up to this point didn't have the effect that you thought that it did. Okay. Now, as far as you, I don't want you to get very depressed, because with this Five of Cups double in the reverse combo, this is actually the universe trying to show you whatever this is so that you don't continue like throwing good energy after bad rubbish, right? It might feel a little bit devastating because I see that this is where you've been for maybe like the last 11 months. So could be a job, could be a relationship, like I said, but this is not the end all, okay? This is not the last good thing that's going to happen to you. This is not the last time you'll fall in love. I'm seeing you kind of getting in this feeling of being very regretful, perhaps taking time to just be alone. There's an energy of you withdrawing from everything and everyone in your life after this takes place, because this is something that puts you in a bad mood, right? You're feeling a lot like you're bamboozled, or like you put in a lot of effort and have very little to show for it. But what I'll say about that, your advice is the Hanged Man in the reverse. So if anything, you do have something to show for it, because this is showing you a couple of things about yourself. You are so driven that regardless of what obstacle you see, if it's something you want, you will go after it. And maybe this is about you trying to like rehabilitate someone who was an addict and you're trying to help them. And then you see that the whole time they've been lying. Or maybe this was about you trying to build something and then you find out that it's just not happening the way you want, or that it can't happen the way you want. But if anything, this should show you a lot about who you are as a person, the way that you are so determined, right? When you set your sights on something. Because the thing is once you put that same energy towards what's meant for you, rather than pushing a boulder up a hill and feeling like you're getting very little results, everything will move for you very fluid, very easily. And not only that, the momentum you have from the discipline and the ambition and the endurance, that's going to progress you and propel you in such a way that you'll see results very, very quickly if this is put towards what you're supposed to be doing. With the Hangman being your advice, this coming out in the reverse, it's like you had to experience this betrayal, because for a lot of you, when you take that step back, you're going to start looking at your entire life and you're going to think to yourself like, wow, I put so much energy into working for this company. What I should have been doing was putting that energy into working for my own business. Or I put so much energy into this partner in this relationship. Imagine how far I would be in life had I done those things for myself and really poured into myself instead. There's something here about boundaries. So I feel as though that might be something you want to think about moving on, is like what we do to people is not going to be what they do to us, right? 6 of Pentacles in the reverse. We were taught the golden rule as children, do unto others as you want them to do to you. But when you do something for other people, it doesn't mean that that's going to come back to you. If anything, that's kind of like the role you're putting yourself in, where you're always going to be the person to do that thing, right? The golden rule is kind of wonky, and what it should be is how you treat yourself is how others will treat you. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like how you treat others is how they're going to expect to always be treated, but that doesn't mean that that's going to dictate how they reciprocate to you. You get what I'm saying? It's like you have to teach people how to show up for you by setting solid boundaries and then consistently showing up for yourself in a way that is very public, because there's something here about you doing things in private when it comes to yourself. Perhaps having low self-esteem or having a difficulty acknowledging your greatness. There's also an energy here of perhaps not knowing which direction to take. And so that's why, with your advice being the Hangman in the reverse, this is being taken out of your life, because it seems like you wanted this so much that you are willing to keep going with this, even if it was bringing you somewhere that you had no business being. Like, you wanted this partnership for this company so bad. Little do you realize they were like corrupt and they're about to get in trouble for embezzlement. So it's literally like the universe is kind of picking you up out of this situation, because had you not had this 8 of Wands where you saw whatever this is, you would never have distanced yourself from this. You wouldn't have exited this. And it's like you've done the work. So it's time for you to reap the rewards in your life. But where you are is not a place that's fruitful. Okay. It's not a place that is going to be able to give you that raise or give you the love that you've invested. So it's almost like you're having to be pulled completely out of this so that you can be placed somewhere else where things are fair, or where they have like the resources to pay you what you're worth, or a partner that's like healthy enough to show up for you the way you've been showing up for whoever this is. So let me get you a dream card. I know you've been going through it kind of the last 3 weeks. It seems like end of October throughout November has been kind of a battle for you all. So just be good to yourself. You got stop waiting for the perfect moment. The only time to start creating the thing that is meaningful for you is now. And that's really what this is about, is like, it's time for you to take action for yourself. And that's why this is being shown to you, because you would have stayed putting so much energy and intention into whatever this is. And then imagine 10 years from now, what would the results be? You get what I'm saying? What would you have to show for your efforts? So really, the universe is just trying to make sure you don't waste your valuable time, because it knows your heart. It sees how hard you've been working and what you deserve. And it's moving you to a place where you can actually receive what you've worked so hard for. It feels like wherever you are, they don't even have the resources to give you what they owe you, okay? All right, Earth signs, this has been your weekly message. I will speak to all of you again soon. Good luck with this, and you take very good care of yourselves. Bye.